Hello, second grade. We are on the second half of lesson 12-9, talking about hour and half hour. And it is the last math lesson of the school year. Whoa! So let's finish up this lesson and then you can enjoy the next couple days doing other fun activities. This is a good one because I think you're still familiar with this, remembering from what we learned back in the classroom. But let's go over the directions here. It says find the start and end times shown by the clocks. So here we have the start clock time and the end time. And we can see here, once again, we have the hour hand, which points to the hour, and the minute hand, which right now is pointing to the 12. And remember that anytime the minute hand points to the 12, it means we are on the exact hour. So it's exactly 3 o'clock, which you can see here. We read as 3 o'clock. Over here, we have the end time. We look at the hour. It's still 3 because it has not passed the 4 yet. So we're still in the range of 3. 3, but what is the minute hand on? It is no longer on the 12. It's moved all the way around and stopped down here. Yesterday we learned that when the minute hand is pointing to the 6, that means we are at the 30-minute mark. And if counted right here, we count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That is correct. Now there are 3 ways to write this time. Circle this, please. We can read it as 3:30. Did I say right? So it's read. Yes, we can read it as half past 3 because it is halfway past 3 o'clock, and another halfway it'll turn into 4 o'clock. Half past 3, or we could say 30 minutes after 3 because it's true. It was 3 o'clock. 30 minutes later, the minute hand is pointing down here at the 6. It's 30 minutes after 3. The start time is 3 and the end time is 3:30. So we're going to take these 3 different ways to be able to read the time, and we're going to use that information to fill in this portion. Write the time in 2 ways. So if I look here, I can see what is the hour it is on. It's in between 1 and 2. Is it already pointing to the 2 or not yet? Not yet. So that means it is still 1 o'clock. So I have a small line here. That probably means that I can write it like what we did here in digit form. So I'm going to write it's 1:30 because here's a 1 and I count. It's the minute hand is pointing down to the 6. That means 30. We can count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yes. So 1:30. Or I can write it as words. Remember, when it uses the spelling 30, that means that I spell the 1. I match it. 1:30. Okay, let's do number 2. Well, look at that. This is called digital, when it just gives you the exact number. How nice is that? This is an analog, when it's a clock with the 2 hands, hour hand, minute hand, and numbers going around. And here it's a digital. It's giving it to us just the straight numbers, easy to read. So it's how many minutes after the hour. So how many minutes after? Well, what's the hour? It's something minutes after something. So we know that it's, the minutes are 30, so it's 30 minutes after, and then here's the hour, after the hour, after 7. 30 minutes after 7. Another way to write this is spelling it out. 7:30. Next one, number 3. We have a short line here, so that means that we will write it like this one. What is the hour? And then what is the minutes? Hour, write it down. And then look at the minutes, write it down. I'm right behind you. I say it is 5:30. I hope you have that too. Now I'm going to write it using half past. I haven't done a lot of that. I can look up here to kind of see what do I put. Half past what? It's half past, well, it was 5 o'clock and then the minute hand moved down here and now it's past the 5, so it's half past just 5 o'clock. It's half past 5 o'clock. It's now 30 minutes after 5, or half past 5. Okay, last one. Here, digital, we have an 11 and then 30. But remember, I have to spell it. When they spell out the minutes, that means spell out the hour. 11:30, half past, well, it's 30 minutes past 11. Half past 11. Okay, let's go to the second page. Matching. You have to draw an arrow to the correct picture. I am going to let you do this part yourself. 1, 2, 3, because I believe you can. I will help you with number 4. Number 4 says, Catherine sets her clock to 7:30. Where should Catherine point the hands of her clock? So if she wants to set her clock, maybe she is starting it up for the first time. Where should she put the hands? Where should she put the hour hand? And where should she put the minute hand? So it's 7:30. The hour hand should point between what and what? If it's 7:30, where is the hour hand going to be pointing between what two numbers? Write it down. It should be between the 7 and the 8, because it's already 7 o'clock and it's starting to move toward 8, but not yet. Not all the way, so it's between 7 and 8. The minute hand should point to what number? Whenever it's 30 or on 30 minutes, it's pointing to which number on the clock? Write it down. You should have 6. Correct. All right. And question number 5. How can you tell if a time on the hour or at the half hour by looking only at the hour hand? So how can you tell? Once again, how can you tell if a time is on the hour or at the half hour? By looking only at the hour hand. Okay, well, if we look at these 3 pictures, we can tell. Whenever it is right on the hour hand is pointing directly right on the number. 10 o'clock, see how it's pointing right at the 10? 1 o'clock, it's pointing right at the 1. But if it's a half hour, like 4:30, is it pointing right on the 4 or right on the 5, or is it pointing right in between? It's pointing right in between. So at the half hour, the hour hand is pointing right in between. So I'm going to put here, if it's on the hour, then the hour hand is pointing directly at that number, okay? So if it's on the hour hand, you can always pause if I'm going too fast and then write it down. If it's on the hour hand is pointing right on the number. The hour hand is pointing right. And I'm not even going to say number. I'll just say it's pointing right on the hour. Right on the hour. Whether it's 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, it'll be pointing right at the 4 or the 5 or the 6. But if it's at the half hour, So at the half hour, where is the hour hand going to be pointing? It's going to be pointing between. So if you have each number, it's pointing in between the two numbers. Okay? At the half hour, the hour hand is pointing. So this is a long explanation. The hour hand is pointing. It's pointing where? Is it on or between? It's pointing between. The hour hand is pointing between the 2 hours. Oh, wow. I made it fit. I'm surprised. All right, so let me read it again. The question was, while I'm reading, you can be writing. It says, how can you tell if a time is on the hour or at the half hour? By looking only at the hour hand. And so, upon discussion, we said or wrote down, if it's on the hour hand is pointing right on the hour, just like 10 o'clock. At the half hour, the hour hand is pointing between the 2 hours, just like here. You'll notice that it's between the 4 and the 5, and it's at the half. 30 minutes. Okay, so you should have done 1, 2, and 3 by yourself. We did 4 and 5 together. This is the end. Just remember, there are a few lessons left, and if you like, you should do them over the summer just to become better acquainted with anything that will help you for next year. All right, so you can finish up the lessons on time. And then there's some lessons on shapes. There's not a lot. Shapes. And then there's a lesson a little bit more about equal groups. Putting things in equal groups or equal squares. All right? And that is lesson 14. Something you can work on over the summer. All right. Have a wonderful Tuesday, second grade. I will see you at Zoom. Bye.